I'm nutritional researcher Brad King and president of Transforming Health Inc., home of LeafSource. I'm about to share with you a great deal of information in a really short period of time, and I hope you're going to be as excited as I am to share this with you. Let's get started. I want to welcome you to the LeafSource Cold Formula training. Super excited to share this information with you today about a groundbreaking immune formula. But wait, I called it LeafSource Cold Formula. Let me explain that for a second. I started out trying to create an immune formula. I ended up creating a formula with one ingredient that was so incredible, backed by over 25 scientific studies, that Health Canada actually said you have to call it cold formula because that's where the majority of the research is. So that's how we came to LeafSource Cold Formula. But don't be fooled by the name. This is a formula that you're going to find out that you can take ongoing. You can take as a preventative. You can take it as a treatment. Children can take it. Adults can take it. We have licenses for all of this. But most importantly, it allows the immune system to function more effectively. So let's get into LeafSource Cold Formula. LeafSource Cold Formula is a product that actually fights the common cold, fights things like upper respiratory infections, bronchitis, laryngitis, and also can help get rid of sore throat. It attacks the severity, but also the duration of these illnesses. And yes, it's also okayed for children 6 and up. So what is LeafSource Cold Formula? Well, LeafSource Cold Formula is actually one ingredient. That ingredient is called Pelargonium pseudoides. This is the main plant compound in the LeafSource Cold Formula. And it's been touted as nature's ultimate immune modulator. And by the way, it's really South African geranium. So that Pelargonium pseudoides is just a fancy name for South African geranium. It's clinically proven to reduce and relieve symptoms of the common cold, flu, upper respiratory tract infections, bronchitis, laryngitis, and pharyngitis. And I'm going to get through all of the areas it can help your immune system function more effectively with. Before we do that, understand that it is backed by over 25 scientific studies. So it is absolutely clinically proven. It's been shown to speed recovery time by up to 50% in some circumstances. It relieves common viral symptoms, all kinds of viral symptoms, and upper respiratory and infection support. And finally, it is 100% natural and 100% naturally sourced. So the areas that the Pelargonium pseudoides or the South African geranium can help with are, number one, antiviral activity. The studies show that it prevents viruses from attaching to cells and then replicating. Don't forget that a virus is basically innocuous to the body unless it can actually infect a cell. So that virus has to first latch onto a cell, and after it latches onto a cell, it has to transmit its RNA or its DNA or its genetic structure into the cell in order to cause that cell to be a manufacturing plant for that virus. So if you can prevent a virus from attaching to a cell, then you can prevent a virus from taking over and replicating, and that's how powerful this antiviral activity is. At the same time, it coats the respiratory tract, preventing the virus from infecting cells in the respiratory tract. It also instructs the body to destroy already infected cells, and that further prevents replication. Now, when we talk about viruses, yes, we're talking about things like colds and flu and the upper respiratory problems and everything that I spoke about, from bronchitis to laryngitis, sore throats, but we're also talking about viruses that cause outbreaks, shingles, herpes. All of these things are viruses. So we have to understand that Antiviral activity is not necessarily subject to one specific area. It actually affects many areas within the body. And this is why we've heard from many people that actually take the Pelargonium pseudoides for these types of conditions with very, very positive results. Leaf Source Cold Formula also removes mucus and at the same time clears congestion. One of the worst things when you have a cold or a flu or are feeling down, you can't breathe properly. What it does is it thins and loosens the mucus in the airways. It clears the congestion, which would make breathing easier. And at the same time, it expels the pathogens that are causing all of that mucus buildup in the first place. It's antibacterial. It destroys the bacteria and prevents the attachment of that bacteria to healthy cells. At the same time, it stimulates white blood cells to attach to that bacteria and attack it. And it coats the respiratory tract, preventing bacteria from attaching to healthy cells. Finally, it creates immune modulation. This is one of the most important areas because immune modulation means it's allowing the immune system to communicate and work more effectively in conjunction with all of the other immune cells. You don't always want to boost immunity, especially if you have an autoimmune condition like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis. It's one of the worst things you can do. What you want to do is allow the immune system to once again get into balance or homeostasis and allow it to communicate more effectively. And this is where the Leaf Source Cold Formula really shines. It helps to boost and balance the immune system where it's needed. It enhances immunity as the immune system needs it, but it prevents the immunity from becoming overactive, and therefore it prevents autoimmunity, or it's also safe for autoimmune conditions. And it modulates immunity to obtain healthy, balanced immunity, which allows the body to actually protect itself more effectively. The dosage. The recommended dosage for children 6 to 11 years is 1 capsule 2 times a day, taken 30 minutes before or after a meal. Now, don't be afraid of a capsule and talking about children at the same time, because these capsules are so tiny because they are a very, very powerful extract that we only need 20 milligrams per capsule. For adolescents and adults 12 years and older, it would be 1 capsule 3 times per day, once again taken 30 minutes before or after a meal. And by the way, people can take this as a preventative as 1 or 2 capsules a day if you're around a group of sick individuals. People fare very, very well when they actually do this as a preventative. So I hope you understand the importance of taking this incredible ingredient called Pelargonium pseudoides or South African geranium, and now you have a formula that will help modulate the immune system, but at the same time protect against viruses and bacteria, shorten the duration, but also the severity of colds or flu or upper respiratory conditions or laryngitis, bronchitis, and also sore throats. Thank you so much for listening.